My name is Dan Reek. I am a project manager here at Informatics. You might say, well, what's a project manager talking about design? I actually have a degree in art, photography, and I actually did a little bit of design here when I first came to Informatics. And my co-presenter today is Jeff Stevens.
Hi, Jeff Stevens, the art director here at Informatics. Thank you for being here, and I'm looking forward to a good discussion.
So the reason that you guys are here is really to wonder to yourself, why do you want to redesign your website, and why is it important to think about that every couple years? The first one we want to go into, the first big idea, is the concept of the responsive layout. What this allows you to do is allows the content to still all be hosted and served to the user, but it changes depending on the width. The other big thing with this is that search engines are really taking note of whether or not your site is responsive or mobile friendly, I guess is the better term to use.
Yeah, in addition to how that technology has affected the search engines and all that stuff, really responsive layouts have permeated all aspects of design trend. And so we're seeing that there's a lot more taller pages and longer pages and less actual page count within just what responsive layouts have done for the contemporary web design trends.
So the next idea that we want to go into, and as you'll find that all these things are going to wrap upon themselves, especially here at the beginning of the presentation, is the concept of clean and simple. We want to keep that site nice and clean.
Yeah, and I think a good idea would be to showcase an example here. So Dan, if you would mind pulling up the Quay restaurant, this really exemplifies a lot of these ideas here. Dan, if you would click on the About page, this is a really good example of facilitating content and designing it and thinking about it for responsive design and responsive layouts. In the past, an About section might have your mission statement, your vision statement, history, who we are, or meet our team, and every one of those ideas might have been a separate page in the site. Now we're seeing a lot of that information being on a singular page, and it's just being stacked. So then you can imagine going through that on a tablet or a mobile device, and it's right there. You don't even really have to do anything other than swipe, and you get that information, and it's presented to you, and it's easy to go through.
Yep, definitely. So the next thing we want to go into is kind of that same type of idea, but it's advanced one step. And this is the hard one, which is minimalism. For many years, going lots of bevels and lots of shadows and stuff was very cool to do because Photoshop allowed us to do it. But they've taken it another step. If you can look at these icons that are here in the new iOS that comes with Apple, everything seems a little flatter. But there's a couple other additional things that you gain from that is also if you think of bandwidth, the more colors that are in an image, the heavier that image is. So if they're able to get the same idea across with fewer colors, simpler design, and it's cleaner and clearer, that minimalistic idea really takes hold. Moving into this next one, I'm sure you guys have probably all at least seen this on one website so far. This is the concept of the big background photo. People go on the web, they've seen it all. So if you want to really grab somebody's attention, you have to put something in front of them that makes them want to investigate your website a little bit further. So a large impactful image will do that. And that brings us then into animations and reactive elements, and that's what I was just starting to talk about, is these ideas of the hover elements that can happen. Things like CSS3 and HTML5, which are languages within that really power the internet, have allowed for more flexibility, easier creation of some of these animations, which really, it gives the page a lot of vibrancy and life when you're actually experiencing and interacting with it. So the next concept that we want to go through is having a split screen landing page on your home page. It incorporates a lot of the things that we've talked about, the large images, the minimalism, the impact, the visuals. But what it's trying to do is really target their audiences. We're going to give you two choices. You either go down this path or you go down this path. And from an analytics standpoint, that's actually pretty powerful because you start seeing that people are routing down this path more than this. You're finding out more about the people that visit your site. So that kind of takes us through all the different design points that we wanted to talk about. The real keys are keep it clean, keep it minimal, try to think of ways to gain interactivity. I'm not trying to tell you to trick people into doing things, but make them so that they want to really investigate your site. Make them want to go into it deeper and find out exactly what your particular organization, product, or your solution is for them.